Hello everyone, this is Sandy from English for You. I am an English teacher teaching English online to students mainly in Asia because I live in Thailand. I've now retired in Thailand. And students from, for instance, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Hong Kong. But the vast majority of my students come from China. And I'm very, very fortunate that since I've been teaching here, I have made many good friends and have a lot of references from my students, and many of them are still very good friends, and we keep in touch fairly regularly. A lot have gone on to much better things and very good careers ahead of them. So why am I talking to you today? Actually, I want to talk about identifying what level of English you have at the moment, your English ability at the moment. As you may know, there's a structure that runs from, that covers three aspects. The basic aspect being A1 and A2. An intermediate aspect, we start with B1 and B2, and then the advanced aspect, which is C1 and C2. So it's quite important that you know where you are within that structure when you start, or where you are now, if you're trying to advance your English ability. When I teach my students online, the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the first lesson, I can normally get quite a good assessment of exactly where they are at that time, and it's fairly accurate. If you don't have a teacher, like someone like myself, and you're going it alone, you have to try and assess where you are so you can plan your progress at learning where you want to go and how you're going to get there. If you decide you're at level A1, you've got to aim for level A2. If you're at level A2, you aim for level B1. Why am I saying this? Because many students think, okay, I'm now A1, but I want to be C1. And oh my God, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of hours of practicing, reading, doing all sorts of things to get to C1 from A1. So that's the important aspect of identifying where you are now and taking it in the not short gap, because between each level, there's quite an extensive piece of learning to be done and improving the vocabulary, all sorts of things. So you've got to establish very early where you are. Let me just give you a couple of thoughts or an idea. Say you're in a big city like Beijing or Shanghai or London, wherever. You're in a big city. But you don't exactly know where you are at that time. You may know where you want to go to. You may want to go to a railway station. You may want to go to a hotel. But unless you know where you are, how are you going to know what route to take to get to your destination? The obvious answer is to ask someone. If you're learning English, ask your teacher. If you have a teacher, ask them. They should be able to tell you where you are now and the route that you need to take you to where you want to be. When you're studying alone, you've got a very difficult way to progress, because you're assessing yourself, you're trying to work out what you should be learning. You can watch 1 million videos on YouTube or online in China, etc. And you won't do yourself any good. In fact, you might make it more and more complex. And eventually, what you can do is you can totally lose your motivation to improve your English at all and think, okay, I'm not going to be a good English speaker ever. And that's sad, because it's only because you don't know how to go and how to get to where you're aiming at. So anyway, I think what's important right now is, what I want to do in this video is make you aware, make everyone aware of exactly the standards that have got to be achieved to be in each category: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, etc. I just want to tell you that many people think that when they know very little English, that they're in the A1 category. That's not exactly correct, because you can be outside the A1 category, what we call free A1. To be in the A1, which is the bottom rung of the ladder, then you have to have a certain amount of ability in speaking, reading, writing, and listening English. That's imperative. And we're going to go through all that. I just want to give you one more scenario to think about. Can you imagine if you've been studying yourself for the last 6 months, a year maybe, and you've been reading all these books and looking at all these videos and listening to all these listening exercises and practicing writing, etc. And somebody says to you, what level of English are you at now? What are you going to say? What are you going to think? Are you going to think, well, I've done a lot of work, so am I at the basic level? No, I can't be at the basic level because I must have advanced somewhat. Am I at the advanced level? Definitely not. I know there's a lot I don't know. So I must be somewhere in the middle. Yeah, well, maybe you are. Maybe you are in the middle, but where are you in the middle? There's 3 sections in the middle. There's A2, B1, and B2. You might think, well, maybe I'm a B1. B1 is quite a high level English. B2 is virtually fluent. So you have to be careful and really assess yourself, because you do not know, you cannot, unless you're getting feedback and guidance, it's very difficult to assess yourself. And I just want you to think about that. Anyway, let's go on. Let's look at the various CFR levels. And I think you're going to be very surprised at the amount of ability you've got to have to be in each level. So stay with me, watch to the end, and thank you very much for being here. Okay, folks, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you the descriptors for the first 4 levels, that being A1, A2, B1, and B2. I'm not going to go through C1 and C2 because they are very advanced, and I don't think these are particularly of interest to the people watching this video at this time. So look at these descriptors and try to decide where you are in your current journey of learning in English, and see if you can see your level as we go through them.
Can understand and use familiar everyday expressions and very basic phrases aimed at the satisfaction of needs of a concrete type. Can introduce themselves and others, and can ask and answer questions about personal details, such as where someone lives, people they know, and things they have. Can interact in a simple way, provided the other person talks slowly and clearly and is prepared to help. Can understand sentences and frequently used expressions related to areas of most immediate relevance. E.g., very basic personal and family information, shopping, local geography, employment. Can communicate in simple and routine tasks, requiring a simple and direct exchange of information on familiar and routine matters. Can describe in simple terms aspects of their background, immediate environment, and matters in areas of immediate need. Can understand the main points of clear standard input on familiar matters regularly encountered in work, school, leisure, etc. Can deal with most situations likely to arise while traveling in an area where the language is spoken. Can produce simple connected text on topics which are familiar or of personal interest. Can describe experiences and events, dreams, hopes and ambitions, and briefly give reasons and explanations for opinions and plans.
Can understand the main ideas of complex text on both concrete and abstract topics, including technical discussions, in their field of specialization. Can interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity that makes regular interaction with users of the target language quite possible, without imposing strain on either party. Can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects, and explain a viewpoint on a topical issue, giving the advantages and disadvantages of various options.
So that's it, folks. We're coming up to the end of the video now. So I hope you've managed to sort of get an idea of where you are on your language journey. Very soon I will be bringing up some videos where you can test that level that you believe you are, and they'll be coming very shortly. So if you're looking forward to them, which I hope you are, then please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and press the like button, please. Thank you very, very much, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video. Bye for now.